you have PCOS and you are thinking about starting a GLP-1, you want to know what it will do for you in reality, and I'm here to tell you just that. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Charity. I'm a pharmacist and I'm currently on a weight loss journey. As someone who has suffered with PCOS for a while, being on a GLP-1 has been very beneficial to me, or for me, in more ways than one, in my opinion. So a lot of people think of being on Ozempic or Mounjaro as just weight loss. And yes, I've had weight loss. I haven't had a ton of weight loss. I've been on Mounjaro for, at this point, a year. And over the course of a year, I've lost probably right at 30 pounds. Let's say 35, just to be liberal. So not a ton of weight loss in comparison to others. I'm on about 10 milligrams. Well, I'm on 10 milligram, the 10 milligram dose. And I've been on that for at least 5 months. So the majority of the time, just about the majority of the time that I've been on Mounjaro, I've been on 10 milligrams. So certainly I've lost weight. And that was something that was difficult for me to do, having PCOS before. And with, you know, watching what I eat, eating better, even with exercising, all of the things, I still struggle to lose the tiniest bit of weight. And so being on a GLP-1 has certainly been very helpful with that. Second, regulating my cycles. If you know that your cycles are very sporadic. Maybe you have super long cycles, maybe you have super short cycles, maybe you don't have a cycle at all. I feel like since I've been, I won't even say I feel like, I know. Since I've been on the GLP-1, my cycles have been very consistent. And when I tell you that my PCOS journey has truly been a journey, there was a period of time that I could count the days that I didn't bleed versus the days that I did, because I was practically bleeding every day. We've come a long way. But now I can put my period in an app, and the app can say, hey, it's almost time for your period, and my period will come. So it's definitely been very beneficial for me in terms of regulating my cycles. Also, how heavy my flow is. Since I've been on a GLP-1, my flow, before I would have clots, I'm talking about when I use the bathroom. Or you know, I was changing my pad like crazy often. I think average, they say that every 2 hours, every hour and a half. I could not go to 2 hours, and if I did, I was risking, you know, messing up my clothes. So my cycles are lighter. I'm not having the clotting. Cravings. I struggle with craving starchy, sugary, especially around the time of my cycle. And I still do, but it's not to the intensity that it was before. Like, it would be very intense, and it's not that way now. I feel like the GLP gives me time to make good decisions and stick with them. Certainly in terms of my eating. Certainly there are and cravings. Certainly there are things that I just like sodas. If you watch my videos, you know I always, or not always, but you'll see me popping open a soda. I love soda, and I still do. You know, I don't not love soda. I just love soda. But I can manage not having soda. I don't feel as tired. I was exhausted all of the time, especially around the time of my cycle, and I still get exhaustion and fatigue around the time of my cycle, but I feel like all of the symptoms that I have now are limited just to when a period of time, maybe a day to 3 max before my cycle, maybe a day 2 max into my cycle, and that's it. Before, I would have like symptoms a week before my cycle, the week of my cycle, maybe a few days after my cycle. So I feel like I was having symptoms most of the month. I don't really have bloating. I'll get a little bit of bloating, I'll say right maybe the first few days of my cycle, to day 1, 2, or 3, and then I'm good. But I used to be a full 7-day cycler. I'm probably 5 days now. I used to get really bad, terrible brain fog. Like, I could not think probably a week before my cycle. I don't have that. And so I know a lot of people will say, well, those symptoms are probably directly related to your weight loss. Yes and no. And I say yes and no because I've lost weight before. I've lost weight before and I was not on a GLP-1. And I still had the symptoms that I'm telling you about. My cycles were still inconsistent. They were long. They were painful. I probably, like, I could not survive a cycle without ibuprofen 800 milligrams. That's not the case now. I can survive a cycle without prescription ibuprofen 800 milligrams. Like, I could not take 4 200 milligram ibuprofen. It is not the same. I don't care what you say. It's not the same. It is not the same. But now I can. I can take some pampering with some caffeine in it. And I'm good. I can buy a bottle of pampering that lasts me probably 2 or 3 cycles. I can buy period panties, pads, pampering, and that will probably last me 1 box of each of those things, and it will literally probably last me 2 or 3 cycles. 2, more realistically. 3 is pushing it, but you know, it just depends. And that, so anyway, I said that to say, like, that wasn't the case before. Like, I had lost the weight, but I was still having those other symptoms, and I'm not having them now. So, I mean, I don't know. Being on a GLP-1 has impacted my quality of life for the better in a positive way. It has helped to regulate not only endocrine symptoms that I've had. You know, I would have issues with my legs, my feet, my back. Like, I just was really, really struggling. When I say I was not thriving and I was not in a good space, just off of my skin. Oh, how could I forget that? I would break out so bad, and you can see that I've gotten on a pretty decent, you know, skincare regimen where my skin is, my hyperpigmentation, all of the things are clearing up. But my skin with PCOS was so bad where, you know, even though it was clearing up, I would get acne, and it would be bad. Like, and I would know my cycle was getting ready to come because I would get the really bad pimples and things around my cheeks, sometimes on my forehead, all of the things. I won't say it's like completely gone because it's not non-existent, but it happens so infrequently. And that, to me, aside from the other stuff, aside from the fatigue, aside from the weight loss and all of the things, for me, the acne, probably the being on the GLP-1 and having my acne be clear is probably the number one of the, it's high up there. Okay, it is worth its weight in gold for that, because it was something I was so self-conscious about. I felt like A, I was too old, B, I made too much money for my face to just really be messed up. Like, because it's like, you know, you work in healthcare, you're a pharmacist, you should know what can clear your skin up, what can make your skin look good. And the perception is, because I don't, you make a lot of money, so even if you don't know what the cure is, you can buy a cure, you can pay somebody to make you a cure and buy it. And like, I was very self-conscious about my acne. And I don't really have that. And it's clearing up. It's clearing up, and I'm not getting the pustules. as often, and so the hyperpigmentation is having time to clear up, and that is making me very happy. So those are just some of the benefits that I have personally experienced while being on a GLP-1. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to drop them below. I will answer as time allows. I will respond to you. Let me know. Are you on a GLP-1? Do you have PCOS? Do you feel like it's helping? How? If you are not on a GLP-1, but you do have PCOS and you're thinking about starting a GLP-1, tell me what your thoughts are. And I was just about to say something about the side effects, but I'm gonna make that a completely separate video because I don't want to commingle the videos. I want them to be very direct. Okay, so we'll do that in another video. If you are new here, something that I do at every video, at the end of every video, is to say, until next time. And if you're not new here, bye.